What is good, everyone? It's your boy Sierra21. We back at it with another Monday Night Raw review, man. You know what I'm saying? This show was actually pretty good. Definitely better than last week. I actually enjoyed this show. And your boy was in the Thunderdome. So again, comment down below if you guys did see me. I will try hitting you up as fast as I can. And yeah, man, if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We upload daily here, so you're never gonna miss out any content. Turn on that bell and like this video, and let's get it. Monday Night Raw review from November 9, 2020. So we kick off Monday Night Raw with Miz TV, with the Miz John Morrison hosting it, and we have the special guest, which was the New Day and Randy Orton, and then Drew McIntyre. So it was a big back and forth, and I'm glad it changed the concept of it, because every Monday Night Raw, Randy Orton has to come out, start off, have his slow walk, cut a promo, then get beat up. This time it was a bit different. I'm a big fan of Randy Orton, but I'm tired of the same opening for every Raw, so I'm glad it changed, something fresh. Basically just to set up the New Day and Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, Miz and Morrison in the main event, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. And that RKO to Kofi Kingston though in the opening, that was actually a very good RKO. That was out of nowhere. And yeah, basically hyped up the match. So I was kind of hyped for it. I know a lot of people didn't want to see that type of match, but you knew it was going to be good, so I was all good for that. For the first match of the night, we had Jeff Hardy versus Riddle versus Elias in a last man qualifying match. Now, I thought this match was actually pretty solid. Not as good as last week's triple threat with Braun, Keith, and Sheamus, but it wasn't bad. It was a good way to open the show though. A lot of good spots in here. Matt Riddle won. I think it's the right call, and I kind of figured it, because they're trying to build up the Elias and Jeff Hardy feud, so it wouldn't make sense just for one of them to win. So I was happy Riddle won, and it was the right call, right decision. So we'll see what they do from there with Matt Riddle in the team. We had the Hurt Business in backstage talking about the title match next week for the tag belts. Then Drew Gulak interrupts, and he's basically saying, why don't the Hurt Business add another champion? So Drew Gulak tried joining the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business simply denied. It was a pretty good, funny segment. Go check it out. And he gets beat up. And then R-Truth wins to become the 43-time 24/7 champion, because Drew Gulak was laid on the floor, so then R-Truth took advantage. Then we got Lana versus Shayna Baszler, man. And we all knew it was going to come after this. We all thought Nia Jax was going to put Lana through a table for the 8th time. I like the way they advertise this show. Will Lana go through a table or not? And basically, so the match was like a minute or two. It was whatever, you know. Shayna Baszler won, so that's cool. And then they were going to put Lana through a table, you know, like always. But then Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke came out to help. So I was like, okay, I like where they're going with this. I like the story, what they're going to do. I see them doing like Lana being the sole survivor for the team. Like, I see like Nia Jax and Shayna getting counted out. And then Mandy and Dana just getting eliminated, you know, fairly. And Lana just becomes the sole survivor. I think that's what's the story they're going to give. And if that happens, then this has been a good story for Lana. So we'll see what they do from there. But for right now, all you need to know at first is that Shayna Baszler beat Lana. Then we had a team meeting with all of Team Raw coming out with AJ Styles, Sheamus, Strowman, Keith Lee, and Matt Riddle. Bro, this team has to be one of the best teams that they've had. Like, just the way this team is booked, it's like they're so unstoppable. Like, you have the mind in AJ Styles. You have a monster in Strowman. The limitless Keith Lee. Hard striker in Sheamus. Then you have Matt Riddle that can also deliver you something. I really like the way they're gonna go with this team, and I just know for a fact that they're gonna be SmackDown. I mean, come on, this team is just on point. And this segment was actually very good, and I like the outcome out of this, because basically AJ said that he was talking to Adam Pearce, and they made this official. Sheamus and Strowman versus Keith Lee and Matt Riddle as AJ with the special guest referee. I was all down for it. One thing I do like is that Matt Riddle and Keith Lee teamed up. And you guys know they used to be a team back then. So I was glad that they teamed up. Hopefully they continue with this. If they got no future plans for them, they could easily make them into a tag team and make them dominate. And they're very fun. Like, they're very fun young people, you know, developing in the roster. I like the way they did it. And they actually won the match. Shout out to WWE for going back on pushing with Riddle, man. Riddle won 2 matches tonight. So you could tell that WWE is putting more work into Riddle these past weeks. Because, you know, for like a month they forgot about him. He was up and down in the card. Now it feels like WWE knows the direction to go with Riddle. Now that they added them to the team, you could tell that they're starting to care for him. So I do appreciate that. The match was good. And yeah, Keith Lee and Matt Riddle won. So I'm happy to see that. Hopefully we get all of them like in a 5-way match. And then we could see the captain. Maybe that happens next week. But for right now, Keith Lee and Riddle were the winners. So then we got MVP coming out with Bobby Lashley. So I was automatically thinking this is going to be a squash match. Like last week he did with R-Truth. Then Titus O'Neil comes out. So I'm like, oh yeah, Bobby Lashley is going to win in 2 minutes. Why bother? I'm going to change it to the Jets game. But no, because then it became a U.S. title match. So WWE was smart with this. They're trying to be a Monday Night Football. So they're like, oh, let's just make this a U.S. title match. During the Jets were just scoring a touchdown. So they were like, what should we watch? A U.S. title match or the Jets about to score a touchdown? And so I just watched this match. I was like, whatever. And it was like 3 minutes. It was bad, obviously. Bobby Lashley wins. That's all you need to know. And I'm very interested what they do with Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Hopefully they don't make Bobby Lashley beat Sami Zayn quick. I want to at least see 10 minutes of them. But yeah, for right now, Bobby Lashley retained his U.S. title. Oh, and one funny thing is, WWE said the last time Bobby Lashley defended the U.S. title was, I believe, at Clash of Champions. I'm like, okay, so at Hell in a Cell, when he defended it against Slapjack, you completely forgot about it. So there goes retribution in WWE. Nia Jax versus Asuka. Automatically, when they said that Lana was in commentary and with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew Lana was, no matter what, going through a table tonight. So let's talk about the match. So Asuka returns after what, like 2 weeks? Thankfully she's back. You know, I thought she got, you know, the flu, but everything's good. She looked good tonight. And the match was actually pretty fine. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was fine. And then Asuka was about to win. She was actually about to make Nia tap out. That was crazy. But then Shayna came in. You know, I kind of figured it. And then the DQ, it makes the most sense. Shayna beats up Asuka. Then they beat up Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And Lana's left all alone. And Lana, yep, for the 8th time in a row, Lana goes through a table. I can't wait to see how they're going to put Nia through a table. Because this is all probably going to end when they put Nia Jax through a table. I guess that's the best way to do it. That's the story they're trying to book here. So I wonder how they're going to get that done. But for right now, all you have to know is Asuka won by DQ. And Lana went through the table. So then we had Ricochet versus Ali in an amazing, awesome match. This match was incredible. This happened at main event, and it was a banger, and it happened finally on Raw, and it was even more better. A lot of good spots. That backbreaker from the top rope looked amazing that Ali did. Ricochet did a crazy flying over the top to Retribution. Then at the end, Ricochet tried doing a crazy splash, then missed. So then Ali went with his new submission, and I like it. He has a new submission move, is a heel way, and he won the match. He made Ricochet tap out, but this match was good. It was like 10-15 minutes. I loved it. I'm glad they gave it time, and they put it in a place where like you will care, because it was almost at the end of the show. So happily, WWE is now using new talent, you know, like Ali, Ricochet, and other more. Main event time. The New Day, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, Miz and Morrison. Alright, so coming into this match, I like the way WWE advertised it. And the match presentation was actually very good. Yeah, this match, we all knew it was going to be good. A lot of people, I know they didn't care for this match, but you knew it was going to be good. You know, you had Kofi doing some good spots. Xavier had some good spots. And I like the build up to it, because Randy Orton is basically like, he doesn't want to fight in this match, because, you know, he's got to save his energy, because he got to defend his title next week against Drew McIntyre. So I like the way they went with it. So it was basically Morrison and Miz versus the New Day, because Drew McIntyre didn't also fight. So I like the way they told this match, this story. So I'm very interested next week, because I'm actually in a point where I'm like, do you guys think Drew McIntyre is actually going to take the title? I don't know. Make sure to drop it down in the comments. But yeah, this match was actually pretty good. It went on for like 10, 15 minutes. And then at the end, Drew McIntyre and the New Day won. So I like the way they did it. I think it's good. You know, I like the way they did it. I think it was good. He pinned Morrison. Morrison took that Claymore cleanly. It was actually very good. So yeah, I'm very interested to what they do with it. What you guys thought of tonight's Raw? I definitely thought this Raw was better than the last 2 Raws, just in my opinion. But yeah, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this review. And yeah, good night, everyone. It's been my pleasure, and I'm out.